All right, here we go. We are joined now by Ohio State's defense. Joining us is defensive coordinator Jim Knowles, Steele Chambers, and JT Tuamulau. We'll start with an opening statement. Coach, if you can, with the magnitude of a semifinal game, just talk about any changes in preparation. Is it a normal week for you? Does it take on a bigger magnitude? How have preparations been going for you?
Consistency is important. It's a critical thing to, the establishment of a defense that everyone can count on, where the players can be fast. And so it's a process that you do try to keep consistent no matter what the magnitude of the game. We've had more time, which is a good thing. So we're able to sprinkle in some upgrades, some different things, work on the game plan longer. But in general, you want the players to feel comfortable with how you prepare, the way you go about your business, no matter what the situation. Because when the critical moments come, they need to feel comfortable in their performance and preparation. And to me, you do that with repetition.
Yep, very good. And for the players, I know you guys have got to enjoy a lot of bowl week events so far. Talk about what's been your favorite experience, your favorite event, activity for the week so far. Steele, start with you.
Sorry, man. Okay. Gosh, it's been a fun week so far. I feel like as a team, we haven't really gone out as much because we've just really been preparing for the game. But as far as activities, I think going to the College Football Hall of Fame, that was pretty fun. Just seeing past Buckeyes and what they've been able to contribute to BuckeyeNation, just football as a whole, has been pretty cool. And then being able to play Family Feud and whatever, Drop It Like It's Hot, whatever the hell it was called, that was a lot of fun. It's just been really nice just being able to hang out with the team the past 3 days or so, just being able to bond a lot in a new place for a lot of people, so that's been really fun.
Yep. JT, what about you? What's the highlight of your week?
Other than coming out here, it'll probably be the MLK church, just seeing him out and talking to somebody who was firsthand there. Just getting to know a lot about the history from somebody and, from meeting Coach Bill Curry. And it was just fun to be there with the team and just enjoying the time there. There's a big game coming up. I think at the same time we got to sometimes not worry about it so much to, have some free time and have some downtime. But I say that was a pretty good highlight of my week since being here.
Very good. Appreciate that. All right, we'll go ahead and open it up for questions. One reminder, just from yesterday, please everybody remember to silence your cell phones, please, so we can have a good environment. All right, raise your hand. We'll get you a wireless microphone. And I guess we'll start right here in the front row on the right, please.
Coach Knowles, when Darnell Washington and Brock Bowers are on the field at the same time, with Brock being so versatile, do you count it as 11 personnel or 12 personnel, and can you explain what that might mean?
I think you have to, because of the versatility, the fact that they can line up tight to the formation and wide, you have to prepare for those two tight end sets, and you're not going to get that all the time. But if you're not prepared for that, they can do damage from the line of scrimmage, and then you make the adjustments when they move out. But they're certainly dangerous wherever they line up.
All right, next we'll go second row on the left.
Yeah, Rob Aller, Columbus Dispatch. Jim, when you look at what happened in the last game, do you try to fix, was that a game-specific situation, the things that went wrong, or were there deeper issues, and how do you differentiate between those and try to fix them in 5 weeks?
Yeah, they're, it's explosive plays, really, what it came down to, and really what most football games come down to from a defensive standpoint. Something that we had been very good at when you look at our numbers over the course of the season. So not systematic, just too many explosives. You have to look at those on an individual basis, determine what the issue was on that particular play, hold myself accountable for it. If it was a problem with the scheme, the players understand it. We deal with those as a defense together, because those are the critical factors in winning the game. And we talk about them, but we give solutions.
All right, next we're going to stay on the left side all the way in the back.
Jim, as you look at this Georgia, Dom Taberi, WBNS TV, as you look at this Georgia offense, how big of a challenge is this? What are some of the biggest concerns in defending them?
Yeah, well, it's a huge challenge. You know, one our guys have worked for all year. The versatility of the offense with the multiple tight ends who are extremely talented, receivers who can make plays in various ways throughout the field, running backs who can attack you both inside and outside, and a quarterback who just does a marvelous job of managing the whole thing. It's a complete offense. You know, it's developed like an NFL offense, and they have a bunch of tools at their disposal. So, you know, we need to be sound across the board and really play hard with great effort. You know, it is still football, and that makes a big difference. The effort of the players really makes a big difference.
Okay, we're going to go across the aisle on the right.
Yeah, Clay Hall, ABC 6, Fox 28 in Columbus. Coach, first to you, just a similar question. What is the degree of difficulty as you go from Michigan to Georgia? Any similarities? Is this a tougher test?
You know, they're I'm not trying to be cliche, but they're all tough, you know, the way I look at it, because, you know, our job as a defense is to stop the opponent. You know, the stop rate is very important to me, something I think our guys take seriously. And, you know, we've done well in our stop rate over the season. So each team presents different challenges, and this is the reigning national champion. So you're talking about a bunch of guys that are going to play at the next level. You're talking about a serious program that has a consistency to it and multiplicity. So it's a huge challenge, but we need to take it apart piece by piece. That's what we've done. Make sure everybody is on the same page and play hard.
All right, next we're going to go with left side on the third row.
Yeah, following up on that, Jim, Jacob Benj with the Lantern. You've talked earlier this season about your first season at Ohio State serving as defensive coordinator. It's like the pinnacle of college football, a dream destination and whatnot. I'm curious from your point of view, just how has it been preparing for the college football playoff at Ohio State for you personally, and just your approach, and just have you noticed any differences just coaching ahead of the playoff for you now that you're at Ohio State?
No, I mean, I really have not taken time to do that. That's not my job. My job is to prepare these guys the best I possibly can for the challenge that awaits them. You know, these are the expectations of the Ohio State University. We expected to be here. When I took the job, I knew that it would lead to this. So we've made it to this spot, and you don't change what you're doing unless there's a problem. You know, so we certainly know the last game was not how we want to go out. We know there were the issues, and we've addressed them. But otherwise, you keep the same course of action. That gives the players confidence. They need to know they have a leader who believes in them, and that you know, we're going to have a great plan and allow them to play fast.
All right, next over here, far right.
Brooks Austin with Dogs Daily Steel. We'll ask you an easy one. How's it feel to be back in Atlanta? Blessed Trinity
Yeah,
kid.
figured I'd get that one. It's been fun. I live like 25 minutes away. It's just been really nice just having a close proximity to home, just having a lot of people from my family being able to come out to the game. They usually can't. It's just been nice. I tried to show everyone around. Couldn't get into the aquarium. That sucked. My dog's pretty close. That'll be fun to see him whenever the game's over. I think it's just really nice being able to come home, play in a place that's familiar to me before I got into college. I think that'll be really fun.
All right, next we'll go here, front row, far left.
Hey, Justin Felder, Fox 5 Atlanta. Steele, I'm going to follow up on that. You figured it was coming. You got some experience in this building with BT. What are your memories of playing inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium? And I know it's a business trip for you guys, but is it going to feel a little different in your hometown and in a building you've been in before?
Yeah, I think my experience, it was like 50-50. We lost one year, won another. But, I mean, it's going to be really fun. What's it called? I think I think something for me that I take into account is that it's just a bigger stage. So I don't really like to dwell on the games in the past because this is a lot bigger deal, honestly, to me and to all the guys around me. So I try to forget about the past, just try to move forward, think about this game coming up as just something bigger than what I've been used to in the past.
Staying on the left over here.
Yeah, for JT and Steele, this is Steve Halwagon with 24/7 Sports, Bucknuts in Columbus. Stetson Bennett, I think it was maybe the Tennessee game, he broke contain and juked the guy and got the ball into the end zone. And just how important will it be, ask the players, to get pressure on him and to not allow him to break contain and keep plays alive like that?
JT, let's start with you.
Stetson Bennett is a great player, a great quarterback. I think we just have to, just do our job and trust in each other. He has shown times where he can be very elusive, and I think we just have to stick to the game plan and just trust one another and do our job.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to doing your job, just trusting the guy next to you that whatever his assignment is, he's going to get it done. And yes, that's Bennett. He's a great player. He's got this weird little dead leg thing he does that's annoying whenever he's out in open space. But, I mean, he's a great player, and I think he's going to take 11 guys to really stop him, stop that entire offense.
All right, we're going to take the next question over here on the left.
This is Justin Holbrook, NBC4 in Columbus. Jim, you mentioned, just going off that question of how hard it is to contain quarterbacks, even going back to that Toledo game, of trying to track a guy that can move around the pocket and emulating that in practice. I wonder how you prepared for that for a quarterback as talented as Stetson is in throwing, but also making it happen with his legs.
You work on it all the time, but like I've always said, it's a balance. You don't want to hold your rushmen back. I mean, you want those guys to be able to go, but you have to operate with fundamentals, with the knowledge of how this guy likes to scramble or at least create room for himself and where he moves to. So, you establish game plans and, you show your guys and you illustrate it. But at the same time, you don't want them holding back. So you're right. I mean, it's part of the game. It happens at all levels. Some guys scramble more than others. But if you're going to be effective in your pass rush, you got to be able to go. You just have to have knowledge of the seams and operate on multiple levels and have other players with eyes. That's important, to eyes on him to be able to react to the scramble.
All right, staying in the back, all the way to the back left.
Jim Domtaberry, WBNS TV. You talked about the explosive plays. A lot has been written about basically 5 plays. If you studied this, did it come down to those 5 plays in your mind?
Yes.
Well said. Okay, we're going to go over here in the front.
And I love you, Don. You know that, right?
Yeah, Brooks Austin with Dogs Daily. JT, not often you see football teams rotating tackles. How rare is it, I guess, and how do you go about studying maybe seeing 3 different guys out there between Broderick, Amarius, and perhaps Warren McClendon?
I think it all starts with preparation, just being ready for whatever is going to be thrown at you. Great group of guys, great tackles. I think we just have to, stay poised and just be ready for the changes.
All right here, 4th row on the left, please.
Coach Caleb Spinner, Scarlet and Gray Sports Radio. Knowing how different you set up your scheme than any other team in college football, how much of preparing for Georgia is looking at film from previous games, for example, the SEC championship against LSU, and how much is going to be feeling them out in the first half?
It's a good question. I mean, you're always going to take a lot from what you've seen, and you have a chance to piece a lot of things together to have an idea, But you're right. It's all a guessing game when it comes to coaching and preparing it. You look at what they've done. They look at what you've done, and you're trying to predict and guess. Okay, but meanwhile, both sides are coming up with different game plans. So a lot of it, like you mentioned, is about adjustments and determining their attack early on, and they'll be looking at us the same way.
Do we have over here? No? All right, next question. Where are we going next? Okay, we are going over here.
Yeah, Coach Steve Hellwagen with 24/7 Sports. The two plays that Michigan made to the tight end, it seemed like your safeties may have been caught looking into the backfield on those two plays, one for a long touchdown, the other for an important fourth down conversion. I guess just those are veteran players that you had in those situations. Just what happened in those two instances, and what have you, I guess, done to preach discipline in this last month or so those type plays don't happen again?
Yeah, I mean, nothing's perfect in this game. If it was, we'd be playing on a computer, but we're still dealing with humans. So when things go wrong, as you mentioned, and you got great players and really, really good young men, I think if any fans or alums of Ohio State would recognize just the kind of quality of people that we have in the program, they'd be really proud. So you look at the things that you're talking about and you say, well, okay, he's a really good player, he's a really good kid, and something went wrong. So people want to point blame, and that's where it comes back to me. I mean, it's definitely, our players, they are always trying to play their best. So now it's up to me. I think it's easy in the cop-out as a coach to say, well, that guy blew this particular play or he didn't get it right, and I coached him on that. Well, I didn't. I didn't do a good enough job. If he didn't show up in the game doing it right, then the fingers need to be pointed back to me and they say, okay, what did I call? Why did I call it? Why did we not finish that play right? And those are the things that keep me up at night and just keep working on it and grinding on it. And when you have a team and a bunch of good guys and people don't point fingers at each other, we all just get in it together. You own it, you accept the accountability for it, and you work to get better every day. And that starts with me.
All right, we'll take our next question right here in the third row on the right.
Coach Anthony Dasher with UJSports.com. In preparing for Georgia's offense, I was just wondering, how familiar are you with Todd Monken? Have y'all's paths ever crossed before?
Yeah. I mean, I know the Monken family well. I mean, I don't know Todd that well, right? We've crossed, but Jimmy Monken, but it's a big coaching family. And Jimmy Monken was in my fraternity at Cornell. He's not a coach, but his dad was, and so it's a big coaching family. He certainly does a great job, and you can go back to all his stops, and he did a great job at Oklahoma State. So we have that in common. I don't know him well, but I know people that know him. Everybody knows each other in the profession. Just have a lot of respect for what he does.
All right, next question. All right, back to the front row here on the right.
Yeah, Coach Knowles, I guess just how difficult is it when the run game is effective for Georgia and then also all their play action is built off of it and all looks similar? I guess, Steele, you can answer as well. When you're a linebacker, how's that run game impacting, maybe your pass drop, where you're supposed to be off the play action?
Go ahead, Steele. Yeah, no, go ahead, Steele. I can answer that.
I mean, yeah, it's certainly hard. I mean, they certainly bait you with a lot of play action plays. I think at the end of the day, it's just following your eyes, just knowing your keys, knowing where you're supposed to be and what kind of situations. I think it's just having discipline. I think being able to play both the run and then also the play action. Your turn.
No, I mean, that's what complete offenses do to you. I mean, that's what they try to put you in conflict. That's the whole idea of an offense that's complete and total and, has different tools and targets and ways to keep you off balance, and they do a great job of it.
All right, we've got time for a few more. Next questions. All right, let's go. Okay, right here in the...
Yeah, just Jacob Benj with the Lantern for Steele and Jim both. We talked with Chip Trainum yesterday, and he talked about just returning to the state of Ohio where he grew up, playing running back and linebacker, just the pride he had in getting to wear the scarlet and gray for the team that he grew up in this state of. Just how have you noticed just the way he's prideful of playing for Ohio State in his home state, coming back to Ohio? How have you both noticed that and just the way he's embraced the culture in your program?
Yeah, I mean, I love Chip. I mean, as soon as he came in, he was just a huge, just big ball of energy for everybody. He's just a really great, upstanding guy. He's just been able to do whatever he can for the team, going from linebacker to running back, sometimes going to linebacker. He's just a good guy. He's a team guy, and I mean, I think he's a big reason why we are where we are this year. Just guys like that, just being selfless, just doing whatever it takes to get to the highest level, which we're now here.
Yeah, great kid. I'm with Steele. You know, I'm afraid we might have lost him for good to running back. I don't know, but you know, he's just a lot of fun to be around. And like you said, you can sense that he's really happy to be home. And you know, we all cheer for him on offense, and because he's just a good guy.
All right, left side all the way back.
Hi, Dom Taberry, WBNS TV again. For all you guys, how anxious are you to get back on the field against this football team? And will this defense, Jim, do you detect an edge with your guys going into this game?
We're anxious. I mean, the guys, they have an edge. I know they're grateful for the opportunity to be playing on the biggest stage, and really just want to go out and play their best. And you know, they're just hardworking, determined, have fun with it, but really focused, really focused on. I can sense that in our players.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a month since we've played, but I mean, you can tell even in practice, everyone's got a chip on their shoulder. And I mean, JT gave a rousing speech right before we got into playoffs, gave me goosebumps. But I mean, I think from then on, it's just like everyone's just been really serious as to what we plan on doing. And so the last month of practice, everyone's been going at it full tilt. And I think that you can really see this on Saturday.
All right, JT?
Yeah, I mean, they pretty much hit on everything. Just being motivated, just staying patient, patiently waiting for Saturday to come. But yeah, in the meantime, just got to continue working.
All right, we've got time for maybe one or two more. Any final questions? JT, you anything you want to share about the speech?
Yeah, it was just pretty much just at that time. I think it was very, it was a very uncertain time. No one knew if we were gonna get in, but I think it was just more of just, everybody got to stay ready and hold each other accountable. All the morals we talk about within our team just has to be displayed at this moment. Telling them that, shared a speech where, or pretty much a testimony where, humans might plan the course, but God plans the steps, and, we just got to trust in His plan, and, there's a reason for all this happening. We just got to keep trusting in Him, and, and believing in Him, and, we got a blessing that we are here, and now we just got to keep going.
All right, any final questions? Last chance. All right, I see none. Thank you, gentlemen.